Nomination form should be, say, 100,000 naira, and election expenses should not exceed a reasonable sum of money. Then people who are not going there for money might be encouraged to stand for elections, and when they get into the office, might be encouraged not to want to embezzle public funds. Maybe that at this stage, we first need to have a system where political parties should fund their representatives at elections, so that the individual doesn't need to be wealthy before he or she is able to stand for election.
Okay, so that said, we are going to leave this very serious one to the very, we're going to go up close and personal to the world. They know Chief Emeka Anyako as one who is well. In fact, when I hear your diction, I'm challenged as a broadcaster, as a broadcast journalist. I'm like, whoa, wow. I mean, if it wasn't what you did, what else would you have done? I mean, in terms of profession, would you have chosen broadcasting as one of your choices? Would you have done that?
Some people have occasionally teased me with saying, you talk like a broadcaster. Have you worked in broadcasting before? And I said, no, I've never done, but I have had very good friends who are broadcasters. No, I suppose that if I had not joined the Nigerian diplomatic service, I would have remained in the private sector. I would have remained in the financial services sector.
For what it's worth, I mean, I'm here having a conversation with history with Chief Emeka Anyako, and I'm seated next to the Queen. I was very particular about that. This is the closest I can get to the Queen, via Chief Emeka Anyako. And it feels so good. How would you describe your relationship with the Queen?
I was very privileged to have had a personal relationship with both the Queen and Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, her husband. Such personal relationship that one of my children at a reception in which I presented my son to the Queen asked him what he did, and Emenike is the name of my son, said that he was a student at Birmingham University, and the Queen said to him, well, I'm coming to Birmingham, to your university in 3 weeks' time to join you in celebrating your important anniversary. My son said, yes, Your Majesty, we're all greatly looking forward to your visit. This was on a Monday, and 2 days later, the office of the Vice Chancellor of Birmingham University received a telephone call from Buckingham Palace to say that Her Majesty would like young Anyako at the lunch.
Wow. Wow.
And after my retirement as Secretary General, I was greatly honored and humbled when I was asked to come to the palace to see the Queen, and I went to see her, and she said to me, well, I'd like you to succeed my cousin, the Duke of Gloucester, who came out here for our 50th independence anniversary. I'd like you to succeed him as my trustee on the board of the British Museum. And so I was the Queen's trustee on the board of British Museum for 8 years. In the same way as, again, after my retirement, I succeeded Prince Philip as the international president of WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature. So my contacts, I was very privileged to have these personal contacts with the Queen and Prince Philip.
Okay, so we zoom in from the Queen to you as a person. What is it about you that the public do not know yet? I mean, they know you as a Secretary General of the Commonwealth, a former foreign minister, so many other positions that you've had, and so many other things you've done. Can you shock us with one thing that the public hasn't heard that we need to document on Conversation with History?
I suppose what I can say is my eating habit. That I love nsala soup and ewedu and amala.
Oh my word! And I can almost guess where the amala ewedu influence is coming from.
Oh yes, and your guess will be right. Because until I married,
Okay.
no, in fairness, we were served a wedu at University College Ibadan.
Okay.
That was the first place where I ate a wedu. But after that, my taste matured after my marriage, a wedu. And then sala soup and onugbu soup because of my mother. My mother was the best cook of masala soup.
Can you beat that?
I would
Whose
say.
mother soup? So what's your guiding philosophy? I mean, what has guided you through life? You have come a long way, and you have made a distinctive impact in all that you've done. What is that principle? What is that philosophy? What's that word of wisdom that has guided and guarded your actions?
I believe fundamentally in what I think it was Graham who put it this way, that when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. So I believe my two most essential words are hard work and integrity.
You are almost 90.
Yes.
In a few months.
Yes.
You'll be 90.
I'll be 90 in January, yes.
You'll be 90 years old.
Yes.
And I'm looking at a young dude who could still talk to some 30-year-old and say, hey girl, how are you? And she will still give you that cursory look and say, it may be, like you said, in the parlance of the woman, you know,
Yes.
when she means yes.
Yes.
What is that secret that keeps you glowing? I'm looking at you now. Your skin is really fresh, your face, everything. You're just looking really handsome. And well taken care of. What is that thing you do that is, you know?
You're very kind to be saying all that, but I believe
I'm not flattering you.
that,
I'm sure others have told you this.
well, the truth is yes. But I believe that it's helped me and continues to help me to be mindful of what I eat, not to fail to take exercise, and indulge myself in a glass or two of red wine every day.
Every day.
Yes. And I walk at least 1 kilometer every day,
Even now?
even now.
Each time we see you out there, there seems to be an identity when it comes to your fashion taste. What has inspired that?
I often say to my friends, since I returned to Nigeria in 2000, that if they see me in a jacket, they should know that I'm either on my way to the airport or on my way back from the airport. Because I made it a rule. In fact, it goes back to this Senate screening committee that said,
You don't belong.
they said to me, one of the things they said to me, they said, you're going to be foreign minister, but we've never seen you in a Nigerian attire. We always see you in a jacket and tie. So when I returned to this country in 2000, I made up my mind, you will never see me in a tie, a jacket, not to mention tie, except when I'm going to the airport to travel, or when I'm coming back from the airport.
And I must say you have kept that resolve. And you're doing very well because, I mean, it has become an identity with you. There's this question I would like to ask, and this is leaning on your experience and your encounters and engagement, you know, within the African continent. Now, there's this, I mean, how do we as a continent, as a people, the Black people in the African continent, how do we put our acts together? Because it will seem there is no unity. Everybody seems to be doing their own thing.
Well, I think by and large, it's regrettable that we do not have Pan-Africanist leaders on the continent anymore. We no longer have people like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Tafawa Balewa, and Jomo Kenyatta, people who believed, and Nelson Mandela, people who believed in the African personality and believed in Pan-African approach to restoring respect and for dignity of African persons globally. We do not have such leaders at the moment. Nigeria's strength and image would be enhanced when we get our act at home right. My dream is that Nigeria will become true to its destiny of being the representative of the Black race across the world.
And I say a big amen to that prayer. And so on that note, I want to say thank you so much for having us in your home as we've had this conversation with history. It's been a jolly good ride. I mean, you didn't disappoint me in any way. In fact, I've come to know one or two new things about you. And thank you very much.
Well, I must thank you and say that you've been a very, very good interviewer. And you obviously have the capacity of drawing people out.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel so privileged. Like I said, I will laminate this hand. I don't think the photocopy machine will work tonight because I've got to laminate it and tell everybody I just had a handshake with the great Chief Emeka Ayoko. So it's such a pleasure.
I'm intrigued by your name to start with, Thekla. I never had that name before until I heard it from you. It intrigued me, name Thekla. And it's a lovely name, and you carry it well and fittingly too.
My head is falling off my shoulder already. Thank you so much, sir. And so on that note, I want to say thank you so much for being part of a conversation with history. Like I'd always say, be kind to one another and stay well.
My name is Biko.
And I'm Mana.
And together we are Biko's Mana. What is up, everyone? My name is Ricky Smith, and I am the writer and producer of the Sesame Street Friends theme song.
Hey, it's time to play. We glad you came because we love to share.
It's been so cool working with Biko and Mana on this project. They've been incredibly professional, and obviously they are so talented. We could not have found better people to sing this song.
Hey, it's time to play. We glad you came because we love to share. We can laugh and sing, do brand new things with new friends everywhere. Let's have some fun with everyone because we love to learn together, making new friends forever. Sesame Street Friends.
I'm actually a passionate baker. I don't rest until everything is done.
When I entered university, anytime I'm broke, I'll make cupcakes and go and sell to the other students.
Decorating cake it's an artistic thing, and art is, dynamic.
Join us on Baker's World every Thursday on the network service of the NTA. Baker's World, celebrating creativity. Don't miss it.
Hello, a happy new year to you. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Nigerians on the occasion of the new year, talking about 2023. In a message, the president said the new year provides opportunity to reflect on the outgone year and reposition for the new one. Being his valedictory New Year message, President Buhari noted that the 2023 general elections creates a chance to choose new leaders. He expressed belief that the nation would remain a one indivisible entity, uniquely blessed by God, enjoining citizens to collaborate with government in stamping out those who want to bring down the nation. He said daily victories have been recorded against insurgents across Nigeria, with the return of IDPs to their central homes and more than 82,000 insurgents renouncing terrorism. Also, a security roadmap is in place based on building trust, promoting community policing for crime reduction. President Buhari added that Nigeria has been able to weather the global economic crisis despite COVID-19's after effect, providing subsidized energy to reduce inflation. In this regard, jobs are being created amidst sustained fight against corruption, and the president prayed that the next president will also pick up the baton and continue the race to make Nigeria one of the leading countries of the world by the end of the century. Similarly, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan has congratulated Nigerians on the occasion of celebration of the New Year, talking about 2023. In a message, the President of the Senate said the 9th National Assembly has kept faith with Nigerians and unwavering in implementing its legislative agenda. He urged Nigerians to keep faith with the administration's efforts at building a virile nation. Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has greeted Christian faithful and indeed all Nigerians on the New Year celebration. He enjoins citizens to make the most of the year by going to the polls to elect credible people to lead them. Similarly, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has felicitated with Nigerians as the new year is ushered in. The SGF prayed for peace, unity and harmony for the fulfillment of national aspirations. And the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has felicitated with Nigerians as they celebrate the new year. Atiku Abubakar described 2023 as a defining moment for Nigeria with opportunities for building a united and strong country. On behalf of the PDP, the former vice president urged Nigerians to look forward with hope and faith. Also, presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has saluted Nigerians on the New Year celebrations. Tinubu described the period as one for keeping hope alive as the nation elects new leaders to take Nigeria to the promised land. He enjoined citizens to support the electoral process by collecting their PVCs and ensuring they vote. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has also urged Nigerians to unite their efforts in the journey of taking back the nation from corruption, insecurity and unproductivity. In his New Year message, Obi reminded Nigerians that 2023 is a critical year that will determine the next direction of the nation. In the same vein, Court Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibiu, has urged the motoring public to sustain the collective vigilance against road traffic crashes as the nation enters 2023. In the New Year message, the Court Marshal called for more efforts at consolidating the gains of the campaign on safe motoring. Well, you know, New Year Eve, talking about yesterday, is usually characterized by a variety of activities cutting across tribes, tongues and religions. While some party into the New Year, you know, some opt for prayers, just as others simply soothe themselves on the night, be it socially or spiritually. Oluseyi Adiagbo captured the mood in the Federal Capital Territory.
Fireworks rent the air in different shapes and forms, signaling the end of 2022 and the dawn of 2023. Millions of people stay awake just to see the clock tick past 12 midnight, announcing the new year. At the Central Park Central area of the LCC, the moment is heralded with palpable joy as the people express optimism that 2023 will be better than the preceding year.
I feel very happy. Amazing people, very amazing city, and we hope all the best for the next year for Nigeria.
Away from the social to the spiritual, for these Christians, it is a time to acknowledge the faithfulness of God over the past 365 days and for the gift of life to witness yet another new year.
God has kept you not because you are without faith, Not there is anything special about you, but you are a product of mercy.
2023 being another year of democratic transition for Nigeria, clerics at the worship centers visitors say the year should be seen as a fresh encounter.
And there's a reassurance in the inside of us, which I also want to say to Nigerians, that let's have hope that by the grace of God, 2023 will be better than 2022.
Go out to vote. Vote your conscience. In the next 4 years, who do you think can lead this country to a greater height, to a better direction? Vote that person.
The crossover night services were also characterized with special renditions of soul-lifting songs as the congregation prayed to God to make things right in Nigeria and for Nigerians in 2023. Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Nigerians have been urged to pray for supernatural strength to overcome hurdles as they journey through the year 2023. Now, this message dominated sermons in New Year church services in Abuja, emphasizing God's grace and steadfastness as a path to building a stronger nation.
2022 has come and gone with its ups and downs, but for many who made it to 2023, the first thing is to thank God for the grace that ushered them into the new year.
And we pray that all Nigerians, we should praise one another, we should live in peace with one another.
Going to shine forth our light. Even in this nation, we are going to make the difference and affect our generation positively for Christ.
2023 election, we are going to get a leader that is more committed towards the development of this country.
From the First Baptist Church, Garki, Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja, Church of the Assumption, Asokoro, to Methodist Church, Wuse, and other churches in Abuja, clergies hinge their messages on seeking supernatural strength for Nigeria to cross every hurdle.
The threat of war, the threat of the election not even holding, people not sure. But then in all this, God is telling us that He is our refuge.
Make sure that we will stay on the Lord's side, and as the Lord is going with us, He will give us rest on every side.
Efforts are not wasted, your efforts are not lost. This is the year of the fullness of time when God has decided He is going to lift His people up supernaturally. He is going to make everything possible.
For many, a low inflation and making right choices during the general elections to build a peaceful and stronger economy top their wishes, and these again they believe will come only with the grace of God. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
As Nigerians kept vigil to usher in the new year 2023, the family of Victor Uchenna also welcomed their baby delivered at 12 midnight by Nurse Stellato Idris of Kubwa General Hospital. Hawa Gimba reports that both mother and baby are doing just fine.
Tradition annually to search for the baby of the year. So, this year, our search took us to Kubwa General Hospital, where baby Ugwata was delivered. He weighs 3.2 kg.
He came in around 10:30 with a cervical dilatation of 5 cm, which we monitored her till at that point. It was as if the child was just waiting for that time.
I am overwhelmed with joy. I was like, in fact, there was tears of joy everywhere.
Chief Medical Director, Kubwa General Hospital, Muhyiddin Lasisi, says they are happy to receive this gift. They commended government efforts in ensuring that necessary facilities are put in place to achieve their vision.
For a child to choose the exact hour of the beginning or commencement of a new year, the exact hour, is not something any man can plan. So this is really wonderful for us. And then to also know all the good things that comes with that. We are really very delighted to be part of it.
Baby Ugwata is the third child of his parents. Hawa Gimba, NTA News.
Bundle of joy to start the year is always a blessing. Nigerians have been urged to approach the new year with hope, determination and prayers, as the new year will present opportunities for economic turnaround and massive transformation in all sectors. This is the advice given by some opinion leaders in Makurdi, Benue State during the New Year celebration. Let's hear the details from Moses Ode.
Nigeria, like any other nations of the world, has had its fair share of economic relapse in the year 2022. Opinion leaders in Makurdi are optimistic the nation is a work in progress.
We shouldn't be worried. God is on the throne. Jesus Christ is sitting right on the throne of Nigeria. He's going to prepare this country himself. He's going to correct the wrongs. He's going to take care of insecurity. And he's going to restore hope in the minds of Nigerians.
We don't want to create more crisis. And that's why we are pleading with all of us. All of us. Put your interest behind and put the interests of this nation first.
They appeal to well-meaning Nigerians to rededicate themselves to rebuilding the nation, especially as it enters into electioneering year. In Makurdi, Moses Ode, NTA News.
All right, it's a brand new year, which we're all trying to acclimatize ourselves to. But usually one thing stands out, expectations for the new year. And we have a guest in the studio that will be sharing with us, the expectations for Nigerians, you and me, for the new year. I have the lead pastor of the Transforming Church, Reverend Sam Oye, also a leadership coach. Thank you very much, Reverend, for joining us.
Such an honor to be here with you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you so very much, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
You look bright, and
thank you.
I love what you do.
Thank you very much. And of course, it's a brand new year. I'm sure you have your expectations. I do. And Nigerians, on a larger picture, have a lot of expectations they expect for the country in terms of growth and all of that. But how significant would you say is a day like this?
Well, I believe a day like this provides us with an opportunity to learn from the past. What is the year before? What did the year afford us, and what lessons have we learned? And on a day like this, we want to look into the year that we've just come into and say, based on the things we learned in the year that's just come to an end, how do we reprogram, restructure, reposition ourselves for a year that we desire to see some of the dreams of our heart? So I believe that a time like this affords us the opportunity to reprogram, restructure, replan, and position ourselves for something better. So I think it gives people an opportunity to start on a clean slate.
And when you talk about restructure, reposition, one thing just comes to mind, resolution. This is the time people just drop plans and resolutions. Oh, this is what I want to achieve this year. But what does it take, starting afresh, if you want your resolutions to come alive for the year? They say if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is that to make a resolution without a resolution, to make the resolution come to pass is the reason why many resolutions never come to pass. So having a plan is not enough, but planning is the beginning of winning. If you're ever going to win in any major significant venture of life, you need to plan. So planning is the beginning of winning, but planning in itself does not guarantee winning without determination.
Yeah.
There must be the determination, the courage, and grit. You need to make sure you sustain your passion for a long time, and there must be that resilience, the capacity to bounce back when you fail, because in the pursuit of your vision, your goals, you're going to meet with some obstacles along the path. So usually a lot of people write down the vision, but they don't also prepare for moments when things may not go the way you plan, and you may need to come back to the drawing board and say, hey, listen, I thought it was going to be straight from A to B, but now I'm beginning to discover that there are obstacles in between. How do you develop the courage? How do you develop the capacity to be able to stay through to the very destination you are set out to accomplish in the first place? So I believe that putting down your goals is the beginning. Having a clear plan on how you're going to accomplish it is very critical, but things don't always go according to plan. So we say you need to be tactical. not
You need
necessarily strategic.
Yes, you need to show commitment. And I know one strategic resolution for Nigerians is the birth of a new administration, which we're all looking forward to, talking about the elections.
Yes.
Now, as we approach the month, this is our electioneering year, what should be your recommendations, in terms of ensuring that we're all coordinated as a people to ensure we have a peaceful election?
I love the last word you used, peaceful election. Peace is the atmosphere wherein freedom finds expression. So I would say, of all things, we must all commit ourselves to pursuing and ensuring peace. Because without peace, we can't do so much. So we all need to commit ourselves. The political parties, the leaders of the political parties must ensure over the next 1 to 2 months that the rhetorics, the words we speak, the kind of statements we make are such that they do not have the potential to steer, covertly or overtly, they do not have the potential to steer some form of conflict, wars in our midst, because we can only vote in a peaceful environment. So I will say very quickly that peace is what we must all pursue if we want to enjoy the freedom that we all seek. Peace is what we must all pursue.
And which falls on your purview as a man of God, both Christian or Muslim, that's something you also have a role to play. What should clerics, be telling their followers?
I think it's important for those of us who are clerics, it's important for us to know that we are Nigerians, so we have our individual, inclinations to whatever party we think we have some kind of sentimental affiliation towards. But I think it's important for clerics to make sure that when you have that opportunity to be on your platform, you want to remember first you're a Nigerian and you want to speak to your people to go and exercise their free will. We don't use our position, we don't use our privileges and powers to, so to say, influence the people towards a particular political party, because then we are not fostering the atmosphere of peace. We begin to create division right in the midst of the people. So I would say clerics, our assignment should be to foster the atmosphere of peace. Peace, 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 from the pulpit to the pew.
All right.
Peace.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Reverend Sam Oye, and let the great grace of God be upon Nigeria this year.
Absolutely. I pray that the great grace of God will be upon Nigeria.
Thank you very much for your time, and we wish you a beautiful new year.
Thank you so very much. Great work you do it.
All right. Okay, let's head to Lagos now to join Hingino. Hingino, Happy New Year. What's happening at your end?
New Year to Ruth, and Happy New Year, Nigeria. It is a tradition for Christians to worship on New Year Day, and the first day of 2023 was not different. The message of hope, peace, faith, and commitment to God dominated New Year services held in Lagos. Our correspondent, who attended some church services, tells us more.
This is the joy of seeing a new year. They are praising God with various dance steps as a way of thanking Him for His love and mercies all through 2022 and keeping them among the living in 2023. The mood of worship also enveloped the atmosphere as worshippers in various churches visited are not taking the goodness of God throughout the past year for granted. The first day of the year also witnessed rededication of faith, prayer for the new year, and the nation. Apart from faith, hope, and peace, the clerics also emphasized the need to seek for wisdom, hinging on Genesis 27, verse 39 to 40.
Let's build a nation, a great nation, a wonderful nation where no man will be oppressed. There's space for everyone, and I believe in Nigeria, and I know Nigeria will be great again.
When you sit down and think deep, you will know that God is truly worthy of thanksgiving.
For the worshippers, who were gorgeously dressed, depicting their mood, the messages that came from the pulpits have renewed their faith, and they're looking forward to a peaceful year.
Just want to be in and see what God has for us, even as we as individuals. We're going to do our own part, but like I was telling somebody this morning, let's see what God has for this nation.
Trust in God.
that this year will deliver to me God says He daily loads us with benefits, that every single benefit that God has loaded this year will be released to me.
As the worshippers wished themselves a happy new year, they are optimistic that 2023 will deliver good tidings into their lives and the nation.
Although this year's Christmas has come and gone, memories of the Yuletide, which refers to Christmas time, are still in the hearts of many. In this report, Diana Ajale captures echoes of this year's Yuletide.
Globally, the month of December is significant in the Christian calendar. From the annual decorations to the shopping sprees and general preparations, indeed, the month of December is a busy one. The common purpose is to use the power of music for the season and Thanksgiving to send a message to Nigerians that with oneness, all challenges are surmountable.
We are celebrating Messiah. We are celebrating our God. So that is what is important to me.
We're thanking God for His faithfulness and His mercy.
From the various songs, ministration, and drama presentation, the message is clear.
Gratitude to God invites God's presence. That when you thank God, it brings peace into your heart.
This is time for you to hold yourself strong. Believe God, be hardworking, be committed, be ethical as well, and then you will see things working out for you. The people demanded dedication from all Nigerians to pray and contribute their quota from their various sectors to ensure that Nigeria is more peaceful in the incoming year. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Let's take some messages. The news will be back shortly with Ruth in Abuja.
Nigeria, African beauty on the Gulf of Guinea, blessed with natural landmarks and wildlife reserves. Nigeria, largest economy in Africa. Nigeria, famous accomplishment in entertainment and sports. Nigeria, resourced with globally respected human capital. Our uniqueness lies in our tenacity, our acumen, a testament of success. At NTA, we are forever proud to be the showcase channel of this positive energy and the reflection of the good in our nation. The capacity to tell our nation's story would not have been possible without the support and patronage of the three arms of government: ministries, departments, agencies, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, and of course you, our esteemed viewers. As we wish you a prosperous new year, let's get set to make 2023 even greater together.
The president we need. The president we go for.
People of Nigeria don't talk them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria.
Our country people get many reasons wey make them all agree say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them choose for this president election.
Yes, so Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi anything wey him put in hand, he dey work wella.
He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people still dey enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, e good to make we vote for who sabi.
As e come be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria.
Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with the broom.
Who be the president we go vote?
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people that traded their freedom
comfortable homes and mortgage their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
The occasion gives cause for reflection and reminds us the sacrifice made by our armed forces in preserving the unity of the country.
All ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to this account. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
It's life. Once you lose hope, you lose life. Once people get lifted to a certain level, they start feeling godlike. What would you attribute this backwardness in education to in the north to date?
What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
The program is reflections.
Welcome back. Nigerian pilgrims are in Jordan and Jerusalem to join the rest of the global Christian community to perform the 2022 pilgrimage to the Holy Land. And about 280 pilgrims have already been airlifted from Yola. Adeni Taiwo reports.
These are some of the pictures already emerging from Jerusalem, where Christian pilgrims who departed Nigeria on Tuesday, December 27, are currently settling down to perform this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Israel and Jordan. Out of a total of 10,000 pilgrims scheduled to go on the trip this year, the first batch of 300 departed Akanu Ibiam Airport, Enugu on December 16, while the 280 airlifted from Yola International Airport make up the second batch. Apostle Abiodun Sonyalu is not on the pilgrimage this year. But after about 22 pilgrimages to the Holy Land, their former chairman, Ogun State Christian Pilgrims Board, still have reminiscences of the dietary culture and others.
We land into Israel. They will have brought vehicles that will take us. Once you pay your money here, in fact, if you don't have one dime with you, you will still accomplish that trip. Because when you get there, the gardeners will have made arrangement for your transportation. Air conditioner buses. There's no big man, no small man.
The opportunity to walk, touch, and get a feel of where the Lord Jesus and other notable characters in the Bible had their earthly ministry is one that Pastor Wole Sumo will cherish for a long time to come.
I must confess that the experience at the Wailing Wall was something that I will remember for a long, long time, because I asked specifically for a prayer point, and before I returned, I received the answer.
So far in 2022, no pilgrim has absconded. A happy executive secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, says the commission is offering pilgrims the best of logistic support.
Yes, Nigerians are our ground handlers with Israeli partners who are making sure that everything is moving successfully over there in our host country.
More thrilling for the pilgrims this year is an opportunity to explore holy sites in Jordan, even as the commission works towards including Turkey as part of the pilgrimage in the future. The commission was established in 2007 to provide smooth airlifting of pilgrims to holy sites as well as ensure enhanced welfare for them. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force has reiterated its commitment to maintain high standards in securing the sovereignty of the country as it acknowledges unity as a key element in nation building. The Commander 013 Quick Response Force, Nigerian Air Force MENA, Air Commodore Elisha Philip Bindel, gave this indication during the commemoration of the 2022 Bay's annual Sociocultural activities named as BASA in MENA. Fatima Usman reports.
The Bay's annual social-cultural activity, also known as BASA, is an age-long tradition of the Nigerian Air Force held annually to strengthen the bond among its personnel through unity in diversity, promote civil-military relationship. It is also a day set aside to strengthen family ties through social-cultural activities. In commemorating the day, the 013 Quick Response Force, Nigerian Air Force MENA, had its personnel alongside family members, friends gather to have fun.
The bond from this socio-cultural expression is applied in effect to various cultural endowments. It will also ensure sustenance of our culture as well as transfer of culture from one generation to another.
On days like these, officers and men of the Nigerian Air Force add on their respective cultural attires in solidarity as they acknowledge their commitment to securing the nation. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Essential Muhammadu Buhari, the one-hour documentary about President Muhammadu Buhari, his mind, life and philosophy will start showing on TV stations across the country and on YouTube. It's a movie portrait of the president told in his own words and by some family members, friends and associates. It will be showing on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Sunday, 1st January. Please keep a date with us. Women and youth have been urged to continue to have faith in the ruling APC and support the party to retain power at all levels at the forthcoming polls. APC Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim made the call at the Women Stakeholders Engagement in Katsina. Awal Haliru reports.
The Women Stakeholders Engagement is part of the tour to the northern states by the Deputy National Women Leader of the APC. She is in Katsina to sensitize women and canvass support for the APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all other candidates of the party during the forthcoming general elections. The Deputy National Women Leader notes that the APC has done well as government in terms of social investment programs. She expressed satisfaction with the level of awareness and acceptance of the party in Katsina State.
Katsina is APC. From what you can see, all the women have agreed that they will vote only for APC across the board because President Muhammad Buhari has done so well and they know the antecedents of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, and they also know Diko Ratna, he is their son, and so they know what he can do, and they have all promised. And you know, when women promise, they fulfill their promises, and so we believe that we are going to sweep Katsina clean.
Wife of the state governor Hadiza Aminu Masari spoke on the credibility of the APC's candidates and called on Nigerians to vote for the party. Other speakers appealed to women in the state to vote for the party's candidates for sustainable development. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, eligible voters in Makurdi have defied the festive period to queue up at the State Independent Electoral Commission offices in Makurdi State to collect their permanent voters' cards. Moses Ode reports.
Has been a beehive of activities at the office complex of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Benue State, as eligible voters continue to troop to the office complex to collect their permanent voters card ahead of the general election.
The Commission in its wisdom has decided that because Makurdi is a metropolitan local government and it has a lot of people who have registered, and the Commission decided that people who are across the bridge, that is River Benue, should go to our North Bank area office at Yagba to collect their PVCs. then those who are this side of the bridge should come to the INEC head office here in Makurdi to collect their PVCs.
Mr. Andia advised those who are yet to receive their permanent voters card to do so to avoid last-minute rush. Some eligible voters applauded the commission for its relentlessness in the distribution of PVCs.
Well, it's a normal process. You know, during the Utah season, people travel and still some hang around to take their own power.
I married, I never vote, but this time around I know that I will vote. So I'm very happy. I'm so glad that now I can vote. I'm free to vote.
The distribution of the permanent voters card will be devolved to the registration areas, also known as council wards, between 6th of January to 15th of January 2023. In Makurdi, Moses Ode, NTA News.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority is warning operators in the down and midstream that defaulters violating the operational guidelines will have their licenses revoked. The authority chief executive Farouk Ahmed told journalists in Abuja that the shutting down of the 14 depots across the country is meant to strengthen the market. Lydia Sampson reports.
Farouk Ahmed found that what he called market pump price gone up beyond reason. He reiterates that the authority will sustain the clampdown.
7 depots that were shut. We looked at also the distribution, the availability in other depots within the zones. And we realized that yes, even though we showed those depots, the effect on the supply within that zone is not going to be significantly affected. It will also help us for those who are holding to bring it out, because the next level is to go and start checking all the tanks in both petrol stations and in the depots to ensure that no marketer or no retailer is putting the product. And they must understand that once they breach that regulatory requirement, is a revocation of their license.
He says the clampdown on some depots and petrol stations is not to hunt any organization. He gave an assurance that there is 30 days product sufficiency in country and that there is no cause for alarm as the Yuletide and beyond, motorists will experience seamless product access and availability. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The NNPC Limited, Tentita Security Services Limited and security agencies have intercepted a barge and truck with stolen crude oil in Warri, Delta State. Lydia Sampson again reports that about 300,000 litres of crude oil and 210,000 litres of diesel were found on board of the barge.
The long flat bottom boat, also known as barge, codenamed Britain, was discovered to be unregistered and undocumented with the appropriate authorities. The barge was intercepted alongside with a large wooden canoe for conveying illegally refined AGU as well as a locally built wooden tug.
Just at the tip of border town between Delta State and Bayelsa State, near the Trans-Ramos pipeline. Good. So they got a locally made tug to push them deep into the bush where they loaded AGU illegally refined and at the same time got their pipelines to take crude.
4 suspects were arrested on board the barge.
They came to meet me that I need the boat to buy foodstuffs. Mama sent me a message. Christopher, I sent me the barge pull our work about the diesel barge and the crude.
This is where illegal crude oil is being siphoned, and they have a lot of processes. The tank where it is refined and sold it as diesel to unsuspecting users at the petrol station outside. From the outside, when you see the petrol station, it's difficult to even assume the magnitude of what is happening within from here. The second discovery is an unregistered truck loaded with crude oil apprehended in the early hours of December 10, 2022. Discharging its illegal content into the underground storage tanks of a filling station located opposite Asjam Hotel, Upeti, Warri.
We've placed our eyes on a lot of fuel stations around this town and other places because we know that these are part of the problems we have.
Personnel of the Nigerian Army 3rd Battalion in Warri had secured the location and the trucks used for the operation. Meanwhile, the petrol station was demolished to serve as a deterrent to crude oil thieves and illegal refineries. The private security contractor had arrested another 4 male suspects in connection with the discovery and recovered 2 fuel pumping machines used for the operation. The IGP task force on pipeline vandalism attached to the PPMC depot in Warri had accused the petrol station of similar incident in 2019. From Warri, Delta State, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
All right, we'll make another stop, this time just where we join Felicia. Felicia, good to see you this brand new year.
Thank you and welcome to Jos. Nigerians are expressing optimism of improvements in their socio-economic lives as the new year begins. Ijoma Ozemina sampled the opinions of residents of Jos.
New Year resolution is a tradition where people reflect on their activities in the previous year and resolve to discontinue a practice and adopt a new posture.
My New Year resolution is to work hard and also believe in God and put all my hope and trust in God, and also say my prayers, because I noticed that without prayers we are going nowhere.
Have a fulfilled destiny, just the way I've planned my life to be.
I want to live a holy life by living happily and then loving my neighbors, my children, my parents, and everyone around me.
Others express optimism that the new year will usher in robust economic fortunes that will turn around the country positively.
The position is just to pray for myself, my family, and the country generally, that 2023 will be a fruitful year for every Nigerian.
I know I have expectation in life. All my expectation, I always put my trust in God, believing that He will answer my prayers.
And we wish that the new year will be more better. And we're hoping God that everything, that this new year shall be a year of testimony, a year of breakthrough, a year of favor.
They urge Nigerians to make meaningful contributions towards successful conduct of the 2023 general polls as they approach the year with hope, determination, and prayers. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemina, NTA News.
The federal government has indicated its readiness to complete Panshin Makeri power projects to alleviate the hardship experienced by communities along the axis. This was when Governor Simon Lalong received management of Transmission Company of Nigeria and the Jos Electricity Distribution Company in Jos. Priscilla Grumman has details.
The 132 kVA power line project linking Panshin Makeri to Guratop was awarded 10 years ago by the federal government to meet the power needs of citizens, which will impact about 14 local government areas of Plateau State. Leader of the delegation, Shehu Aliyu, informs Governor Lalong that the team is in Plateau State on a supervision visit to the power sites following a marching order by the Minister of Power to ensure completion of the power project within 3 months.
Price variation and harmonization of outstanding work between TCN and the contractor Mogaps has been resolved. Currently, through FGN appropriation has been fully provided. Materials to be imported for the completion of this project are already on ground.
Governor Simon Lalong commends the Buhari-led administration for ensuring that Plateau State benefits from the power project and for the effort by TCN towards the realization of the project. The team then proceeds to the Panshin, Makeri and Guratop power stations. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. Nationwide continues in Benin with Agatha after this break.
Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. Determined to keep this hope alive. Bring the smiles back to all Nigeria.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. When hope beckons on our people, the silver lining dots the skies. The the firm importance of bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bringing them smiles back to all Nigerians.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Thank you for staying on Nationwide, and Happy New Year from Benin. Our Governor Godwin Obaseki is thankful to the people of Edo State who, in the face of daunting difficulties, have been able to sustain themselves. The governor, in his New Year message, pledged to create a vibrant electricity market in the state to encourage investors to invest in generation and distribution of the grid. This, he expects, will ultimately enhance investments in Azura and Osiomo power projects. Elizabeth Omoko reports.
Even though the world economy has been challenged by disruptions, the local state economy has been undermined by its own specific anxieties. This has unraveled as galloping inflation, volatile exchange rates, and increased insecurity. Governor Obaseki says that in reaction to the negative hostile impact, his administration in the past 6 years has been laying the foundation for its economic resurgence through far-reaching reforms.
We are transitioning Edo from a civil service dominated state to one which is attracting manufacturing, commercial, agricultural concerns, services, and technology companies, and several small and medium enterprises. Quite a number of jobs are currently being created from several opportunities in the state's agricultural sector, such as the Edo State Oil Palm Program, ISOP, our cassava to ethanol initiatives, forestry plantations, and also in poultry production.
He reviews plans to establish an Edo Electricity Commission.
We will be creating a vibrant electricity market in the state to allow and encourage investors to invest in generation and distribution of grid and off-grid electric power so that we can expand the investments in Azura Power and Osiomo Power projects.
The governor urges all to join hands with Edo State government to develop communities and play their parts in making Edo great again. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
And people of Ekiti State are calling for the implementation of policies that will enhance the well-being of Nigerians in 2023. They made the call in Ado Ekiti while speaking on their expectations from the new year. Kende Dorodola reports.
People are always excited to witness the first day of every year after conquering the previous one. One of the features of every new year is people's expectations from God, themselves, and the nation. 2023 being the year selected for the general elections, the people of Ekiti State have expectations from government and the electoral umpire, INEC, to conduct the elections in a manner that will be acceptable by all, while calling on the electorate to allow God to direct them in the choice of their preferred candidate. They also want government at all levels to implement policies that will better the lot of Nigerians.
Let our leaders follow God, let them fear God, and God will teach them what to do.
They should think about the people, their government, and so that they should meet their needs and take care of them.
And we must be a child of obedience to the people that we are elected into the offices in this nation. I want the government, the people in authority to be more sincere with the electorate.
They submitted that if everyone plays his or her expected roles, the country will be a better place in 2023 and beyond. In Ado Ekiti, Kende Dorodola, NTA News.
That's it here. Ruth has the rest of Nationwide.
Happy New Year, Agatha. I'm sure that's what you wanted to say. Welcome back to Abuja. Residents of Port Harcourt joined their counterparts across the country to gather in worship centers to appreciate God's faithfulness in the new year. Gabriel Amunike reports.
At the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Church, headquarters Port Harcourt, Pastor Timothy Ogbonna admonished Christians to exercise faith in the sacrificial power of Jesus Christ to gain life eternal. Reverend Simeon Okeke of Overcomers Church, Broad Outreach, and Pastor Lanwe Olusheye of House on the Rock called on Christians to conquer sin, have confidence in themselves, serve God in 2023 if they truly expect a better result.
The presence of God rub off on us, and that presence of God will carry a bar, preserve, protect us from every assault of the devil and his cohorts. So this year, I encourage Christians to walk in power.
The same God who was able to feed 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish, what is this storm that he cannot quell? Are you still here?
Church services featured singing, prayers, and thanksgiving. Gabriel Amunike, NTA.
All right, that's where we call it a day for Nationwide. Thank you very much for your time. As you go out to celebrate the new year, do stay safe. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.